Welcome back to another video. It is Friday, it's night, and I'm in the mood to watch some space sounds. This has been requested before, but yeah, honestly, it's Melodysheep again. We already know at this point, they're fucking insane. So yeah, we're just gonna get straight into it. It's a 20-minute video, and bro, honestly, the video quality is insane in these. It's the sound of space, a sonic adventure to other worlds. So without further ado, get your headphones on to the max volume, because let's enjoy some sounds. Go. Let's see this. 20,000 hertz. All right, so it's a the sound already. Yeah, what does space
The
sound
best
like?
marketing tagline in movie history might have been from the Ridley Scott film Alien. In space, no one can hear you scream.
Yeah, that quote is
That phrase is
so
true.
good. Yeah.
And not only because of the distance from Earth, it has to do with how sound travels.
Yeah, because like, how does it travel?
You don't have sound in space because sound requires molecules.
Exactly.
You have to be able to move the molecules with the sound waves, and without the molecules there, the sound just doesn't move.
Space is silent because it's virtually empty. As few as 10 atoms in a cubic meter.
That's so that then
Compared
how?
to 10 trillion in our own atmosphere. And without that
Yeah.
thick soup of atoms, sound just has no way to travel. But billions of years ago, it was a different story.
So then how? Big Bang, of course. Bro, look at the
Not
sound
long
quality
after the Big
already.
Bang,
Oh my
The
god.
entire universe was a ball of hot plasma, thick enough for
Right.
sound to pass through.
Of course.
Shockwaves from the formation of the universe rippled through space, creating a cosmic
Oh.
rumble deeper than anything our ears could detect.
Oh.
What you're hearing now are those actual sounds, decoded by researchers and pitched up to something we humans can hear.
Wait.
These are the first sounds ever created. Primordial stirrings from a newborn universe.
Oh wow. That is honestly so sick.
Today, space is a lot bigger, a lot emptier,
Yeah.
and a lot quieter.
Mm-hmm.
But we should be grateful. Because if sound did travel through space, we would all be bombarded by a constant deafening explosion.
Okay.
The roar
Well,
of the
fair.
sun.
Yeah. Because that shit must be loud.
Every moment, our sun blares trillions of watts of sound energy through its turbulent surface.
Yeah.
If it wasn't muted by the vacuum of space, that sound would be as loud as a jackhammer here on Earth.
Okay. Not sure I want that.
Luckily for us, we have the void of space to protect us.
Yeah.
And we live in a world of amazing sonic diversity.
Well, okay, so just a quick thought, right? Is that what I feel like that adds to the space thing, right? Of like, as they say, like in space, no one can hear you scream. Like it's, I feel like that with if you could hear sounds in space, it wouldn't be like that mystical and so like it makes sense for it not to have sound. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes it more like thrilling. It makes it more mysterious. You know? I don't know. I feel like it's yeah. I'm not sure if I would want space like sound in space that we can hear. You know?
The sandy deserts, the lush forests,
Yeah. The sound of
of
this
the
video
ocean.
is
both
very
on its
good.
surface and below.
Mm.
Our home planet is a rich soundscape because our
Yeah.
ears are perfectly in tune with it. But our little island of sound isn't the only one. There are whole other worlds of sound out
There
there.
we go.
In the skies, the oceans, and the rocks of other planets.
Hit me with it. Hit me with it.
And far beyond.
Oh, look at this visuals. Here we go, Melodysheep. Whew. What an intro. Let's go. Before we venture out to the otherworldly soundscapes, we have to start with the basics. Fair?
What is sound? It's the vibrations of molecules in the air.
Yeah.
It's a pressure wave. Sound takes on many forms, but the kind that we're most familiar with is pressure waves moving through gas.
Okay.
Sound travels faster through lighter gases like helium, making our voices
sound higher pitched.
when the air is colder or made of heavier gases like sulfur hexafluoride.
Sound travels more slowly.
Oh.
But there's even more to it than that.
Interesting.
Sound can be transmitted through any kind of physical medium. So if you are in a swimming pool, you can still hear sound. That's being transmitted through water. Earthquakes are essentially sound waves being transmitted through the solid earth.
Yeah.
Our experience of sound here on Earth is only a sliver of what's possible.
Yeah, because all the sound waves.
Each planet
Ooh.
is a unique soundscape, shaped
Beautiful.
by its particular makeup.
Okay.
So let's go from planet to planet in our solar system to find out what the
All right.
surface of each one would sound like to our ears.
Let's go.
To be clear, you'd pretty much die instantly everywhere but here.
Oh, okay.
But we're gonna pretend to have superhuman powers that will keep us alive.
Okay.
So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's start closest to the sun.
Mercury.
Places like Mercury and these rocky bodies with no atmospheres would be similar to being in space. There would not be
Well,
as
yeah,
much
and that's-
sound, if any.
So, like, that's also a thing which I know that I get so irritated by. And let me know if you get irritated, because I get so irritated when in movies, when there's sound in space, it makes me so angry. Like it just irritates me, because like I know it's not possible at that level. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just find it so, I don't know, I just get so irritated when I see it. So I just had to say it.
With its near vacuum surface conditions, it might seem like Mercury would be completely devoid of sound.
Yeah.
But it's
But-
there. Not in the air, but in the rocks.
Oh.
Scientists have found evidence that the planet is seismically active.
Ah, okay.
So if you put your ear against the ground, you might catch the sound of something strange. A Mercury quake.
The visuals are so insane.
Next up, Venus.
Because you have this really dense atmosphere, much denser than Earth's, the sound
Yeah.
would tend toward what things sound like when you're underwater.
Okay, makes sense.
If you could imagine something in between air and water, that kind of density, you're running your hand through that and you would feel that.
Oh.
If you were to just materialize in that environment of 900 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 times our atmospheric pressure, you would first be crushed,
Yeah, it makes
and
sense.
then you would probably just burn up completely.
Okay.
One thing we do know about Venus is that it has lightning. So
Okay.
you might hear thunder.
Okay, okay.
It turns out that Venus is one place we have real audio from.
Oh.
In the early 80s, the Soviet lander Venera 14 successfully landed on the surface.
What?
It survived for nearly an hour before shutting down. And during that
Really?
time, it picked up these eerie sounds of the Venusian winds.
Let's hear it.
But what about something more
Oh.
human?
Yeah.
What would my voice sound like? The denser atmosphere would
tend to lower the pitch, but the hotter air would act to increase
the speed of sound, making my voice sound higher.
Oh.
It's a strange scene to imagine.
Oh. That's really
I'm on
weird.
Venus, in this ethereal world that's a mix between
That's
a gas-like
so
atmosphere
creepy.
and water.
It's so cool at the same time.
I'm almost floating.
Yeah.
My voice, the thunder. It's all slightly muffled and distorted as it travels through the thick atmosphere.
That's really like, it's like somebody's like some spirit animal or like spirit in like in disguise. God, this video is beautiful.
Our
by
next
the way.
stop is a polar opposite sonic environment.
Let's go. Mars. Yeah, this should be quite
Sound
the same.
on Mars is going to kind of be the opposite direction of Venus because the
Oh, a bit
atmosphere on
more.
Mars is very, very thin compared to Earth's, and so there's just not very many molecules.
Okay.
The wind speed can get very high as hurricane force at the surface sometimes. So imagine 100-mile-per-hour wind on Earth, you'd be almost blown off your feet. If you were standing on the surface there in Mars, you'd feel it, but it would feel like a gentle breeze here on the surface of
Oh.
Earth.
Okay.
You wouldn't necessarily hear the wind itself. You would hear the dust that's being picked up, and it would be banging against the faceplate of your spacesuit.
Ah.
We wouldn't hear too much. Maybe if you were scuffling along on the surface, you could maybe very faintly hear that sound as you were clawing at the ground.
Okay. Okay.
But Mars is another world where we don't have to rely purely on speculation.
We've gotten
After
evidence of
sending
it.
robots for decades, we finally received the first real audio from the surface of Mars, recorded by the Perseverance rover in 2021. These are the sounds of the Martian winds and the clunk of the rover's wheels over the planet's surface. Sounds that our ancestors could have only dreamed of hearing.
Wow.
Wind and rocks are one thing, but what
That's
would
so
our voices
cool.
sound like?
Let's see.
In this thin atmosphere, speech would sound quieter and wouldn't travel as far. And while the low-density air would usually make our voices sound higher, the colder temperatures would
slow down the sound, and the
Oh.
pitch would
balance out.
So you would be almost
The biggest
like
change would come from the composition of the air.
almost like Earth then.
The atmosphere of Mars is mostly carbon dioxide, which absorbs high frequencies. So our voices would become muffled and distant.
Oh.
If our voices don't carry far, how about a piano?
Oh shit.
In the faint Martian air, it would sound like something you might hear in a dream.
Yeah. That is so weird, but so cool. Wow. That is it. Oh my god. Imagine hearing
Let's
that just
continue
in the
on to
distance.
the outer gas giants,
Let's
starting
see.
with the biggest.
Jupiter. This is impossible to hear, right? Because obviously you'll only hear winds.
Jupiter doesn't have a solid surface.
Yeah. Gas giant.
The whole planet is made up of gas that gets denser and denser the deeper you go, eventually becoming a liquid.
So crazy.
The pressure and temperature variations are what cause those beautiful swirling bands.
It's really beautiful. Yet
Depending
so
on
chaotic.
where you were inside its layers, the soundscape would change drastically.
Let's hear it then.
The interesting thing on Jupiter is that the pressure and the temperatures where the cloud decks are actually not so inhospitable.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, fine.
You have these super powerful lightning bolts. You'd hear echoes of echoes of echoes just back and forth.
Okay.
So what about
Saturn.
the rest of the outer planets?
Again,
Like Jupiter,
arguably the
Saturn,
most
Uranus,
beautiful
and
planet.
Neptune are mostly made of hydrogen and helium.
Although it's just
Those
so-
two gases
oh,
are lighter than Earth's atmosphere, so our
Yeah.
voices would generally sound higher pitched. But each layer of each planet would provide its own unique sonic experience.
Okay.
Different worlds of sound. From inside the raging storms of Saturn
You would not be able to hear a thing.
to the
Too much
frigid
wind.
methane clouds of Uranus.
What?
To the murky depths of Neptune.
Ooh. That sounds like a nightmare. I'm just shocked by this video.
But
I'm
what
just
about
so
our
focused.
old friend Pluto?
Yeah. Come on.
It is
Can't forget him.
probably the thinnest
Or them.
bound atmosphere that we know, but it also looks really complex. I mean, it's got layers. It's
Yeah.
pretty different because the temperature is so low. Nitrogen is an ice. Carbon monoxide is mostly an ice. That's
Yeah.
probably the weirdest, most different kind of place in terms of thinking about how composition, temperature, pressure would affect the sound.
So far away from us, man.
There's one more world worth a listen. Not
Okay.
a planet, but a
moon?
moon.
Yeah.
Saturn's moon Titan
Titan.
is the
Ah,
only
yes.
one we know of with a true atmosphere.
Okay.
It's even
Okay.
thicker than ours, but it's
Oh.
freezing cold, and it rains
yeah.
liquid methane.
Okay, dude.
In 2005,
I was
the
about to say,
Huygens
maybe we could
space
habit
probe
it, but no.
recorded audio as it descended through the thick atmosphere to the surface. What you're hearing is incredible. The sound of the winds from a tiny moon nearly 1 billion miles away. If you were standing on its surface, the soundscape might be eerily familiar. You
Obviously
might hear
rain.
the sound of flowing liquid methane. Not a waterfall, but a methanofall.
Thanathal. Oh my god. This is so interesting.
When you think of space, it's mostly space,
Yeah.
where there's no medium to transmit sound.
Exactly.
And yet, it's perfect for light.
Yeah.
Light fills the universe. But sound doesn't.
Wow.
The whole universe is connected by light. Light anywhere in the universe can travel to anywhere else in the universe.
Yeah.
But with sound, you really are 1 trillion different islands of sound.
Yeah. It's very
We think of
interesting,
Earth as
honestly.
special because it can support life.
Yeah.
But it goes much further than that. It's one of the true places in the universe where sound is abundant. And all of that sound has impacted life on an evolutionary level.
If you look at
Wow.
at life on Earth, being able to hear something seems to be a very
Look
big
at the
advantage,
scenery, dude.
you know,
Oh my
biologically,
God.
right? Because you can become aware of either predators or prey
Yeah. Yeah.
or food sources. So alien life in the universe would probably have an advantage to hear things also. In whatever planet or ocean or atmosphere they lived in.
This is very, very cool.
These aliens would probably perceive sound in a totally different way.
Makes
a way
sense.
that's in tune with their own environment.
Yeah, it's like, would they be able to hear us?
And perhaps
Or something
hear
like that, you know?
completely different frequencies.
Yeah. Like super high ones or super low ones. my god,
Sound
Melodysheep.
as we understand it is so unbelievably rare. Yet, it's abundant right here, within this thin blanket of atmosphere. But if we travel straight up, it goes away very quickly.
Just an instant. That.
It gets quieter and quieter until it's gone.
Oh, that gave me chills, bro. What? That is so cool, dude. Nice. Nice. Well done, Melodysheep. You've done it again. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Well, that was a really cool video, honestly, dude. It was so cool. Melodysheep is honestly, almost a go at making space videos. It's insane. Wow. They always leave me with like just emptiness. Like it's like there's so much to think about after these videos. I can see why you guys like them. Oh man, I'm just in shock. I'm always in shock after these videos. But yeah, no, it's just that as I said, like, and what do you guys think? Like, because for me, it's like space is meant to be, there's no sound. It makes sense because like it's, I don't know, it's just that the sheer, I don't know what that fear is called when you're very scared of, when you're fearing for stuff that is way bigger than you, like big boats, stuff like that. And it's like it's like what I think when, like, if you just look from Earth with a telescope and you look at Neptune or Saturn or something, right? You just see that planet, you see that mass body where you can step in, or just like, you know, where not life is, but there's matter, there's able to be sounds, and then outside of that, just that layer is just nothingness, pure pitch black and just nothing. That's what I think is so cool yet so scary about it. I can go on and on with this, but yeah, honestly, yeah, you know what, go check out Melodysheep. I know I'm gonna tag them in the description as well. But if you like this reaction, you can go ahead and hit that thumb down there or whatever. You don't have to if you don't want to. That's completely up to you. And the same goes with subscribing. You don't have to if you don't want to. But if you like what I do and you want to see more, then go ahead. That's up to you. Honestly, I just appreciate it. But yeah, let me know if there's any other videos that you want me to react to. And yeah, I'll see you guys in future videos. Bye.